Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're going to break down a really core piece of English grammar that will make your writing so much stronger. The difference between action verbs and linking verbs. Let's dive right in. So, let's kick things off with a little puzzle. Look at these two sentences. They both use the exact same verb, feels, but that verb means two totally different things. Weird, right? How's that even possible? Well, by the end of this, you'll know the answer. But before we can get into the different kinds of verbs, we have to be crystal clear on what a verb actually is. Think of it like the engine of your sentence. Seriously, without it, your sentence just isn't going anywhere. So here's the bottom line. Every single verb has one of two jobs. It either shows an action, something actually happening, or it describes a state of being, which is kind of like saying something is a certain way. And these two examples show that difference perfectly. In she runs every morning, the verb runs is a clear physical action you can picture. But in he is a teacher, the verb is doesn't show him doing anything, right? It just connects he to the description a teacher. It's describing his state of being. Let's start with that first category, which is probably what you think of when you hear the word verb anyway. It's time to meet the doers of the grammar world. Yep, it's really that simple. If a word is telling you what the subject of the sentence is actively doing, then boom, you're looking at an action verb. These are the words that put all the motion and energy into your sentences. Now, it's really important to know that action verbs actually fall into two different camps. We usually think of physical actions, but some of the most powerful actions happen entirely inside our heads. First up, you've got the physical actions. Verbs like plays, eat, and walk. These describe movements you can actually see. These are usually the easiest ones to spot, for sure. But now, look at these. Thinking, believing, remembering. You can't see these actions happening, but they are absolutely actions. The brain is doing some heavy lifting. These are our mental action verbs. And hey, here's a fantastic little trick to remember. If you can ask the question, what is the subject doing? And the verb answers that question, you've found an action verb. What does he do? He plays. What do? I think. It works every time. All right, let's switch gears and talk about our second category. If action verbs are the doers, then linking verbs are the connectors. I like to think of them as the equal signs of a sentence. The key thing about these verbs is that they show zero action, none at all. Their only job is to link or connect the subject of the sentence to a word that describes or renames it. They're all about a state of being, not a state of doing. Let's see how this works. She is happy. The word is just connects she to happy. Basically, she equals happy. He looks tired connects he to tired. And the soup smells delicious connects soup to delicious. See? No action, just a connection that describes a state of being. So, here are some of the most common linking verbs you're going to see. All the forms of to be, like am, is, are, was, and were, those are the heavy hitters. But also keep an eye on verbs that are related to the senses, like seem, look, feel, and taste, because they often act as connectors too. Okay, so you've met both players. Now it's time for the main event. Let's put them side by side to really lock in the difference. This is the showdown. This table lays it all out pretty clearly. Action verbs show what someone does. Linking verbs show what someone is. One is about doing, the other is about being. Just look at those examples. She runs fast describes an action. She is fast describes her state of being. A very subtle but very important difference. All right, back to our puzzle from the beginning. Let's solve the first half. In the sentence, he feels sad. Is feels an action verb or a linking verb? Take a second. Is he doing something or is he something? And the answer is, it's a linking verb. Feels isn't an action here. It's working like an equal sign, connecting the subject, he, to the description of his state of being, sad. He equals sad. Now for the second half of our puzzle. Same verb, different sentence. In he feels the wall, is feels an action or a linking verb? Ask yourself that key question again. Is he doing something? This time, it's an action verb. Here, feels is describing the physical act of touching. We can ask, what is he doing? He is feeling the wall. This shows how the exact same verb can change its job completely depending on the context of the sentence. So, let's wrap this all up with the key things to remember. Number 1, action verbs show what a subject does. Number 2, linking verbs show what a subject is. And number 3, and this is the big one, context is everything. Some verbs can wear both hats, so you always have to look at the job they're doing in that specific sentence. And that's it. You've just mastered a core concept of English grammar. So the final question for you is this. Now that you can tell the difference, how are you going to use this knowledge to make your own writing and speaking more precise and more powerful? Thanks for tuning in.